What's happening YouTube? It's Mike French here, and today we have the 6th part in my KLX110 full mod build series. And in this part, we're gonna be doing a custom seat cover installation. So let's jump on into the build video, guys, and let's handle business. Here we go. All right, guys, check it out. We got some new parts for the KLX110 build. We got a custom ordered Guts Racing seat cover. These are great seat covers. I ordered it on their online website. You get to pick your color, you know, what two-tone you want, fabric and everything. So for this, I got their fluorescent green two-tone stripe. I got the more expensive, I paid, you know, $10 extra for their ballistic material, which is just pretty much a thicker type of material than like a standard seat cover has. But anyways, you know, this did run me about 70 bucks, and you guys are like, whoa, $70 for a seat cover. I can go on eBay and get one for 30. But yeah, it's not gonna be as heavy duty as this, and also it's not gonna pimp out your black seat cover as nice as this is. So we're putting all, you know, all the ammunition into this KLX110 build. I want it to be sweet. I want it to be blinged out. So $70 seat cover versus a $30 one on eBay. This is gonna last longer. It's not gonna tear. Like you could see this Two Brothers seat cover did. You know, this is their tall seat. It just comes like complete like this, but their seat cover is a little bit thin compared to this guy. This guy, you could just tell by looking at the material how much thicker it is. All the, you know, tailoring, the seams, the sewing is just, it's a more heavy duty seat cover. That's all it is. So anyways, we're gonna be throwing this on to here. It's a pretty painless process. All you gotta do is take out all the staples all around. And then the more difficult part is putting the seat cover on, because when you put it on, you don't want slack. You don't want it to be like sagging. You can see how nicely formed this one is, you know, and every seat cover is different. They fit different, obviously with them being custom, you know, made as well. So anyways, you just kind of got to go through the process, you know, stick to it, and it'll be pretty easy. If it's your first time, it's going to be a little bit sketchy maybe here or there, but just make sure you get everything tight. Make sure you take your time, and it'll be perfect. So yeah, I've done probably about 20 to 25 seat covers in my lifetime. I do them for my buddies to make a little side cash. I have acquired an arsenal of staple guns, and I actually have a few more than what you see right here, but these are like the basic 3 I use. This one's the most heavy duty, it hits the hardest. This one is very easy to use, very easy to push at least, but it doesn't hit as hard as this guy does. And then this dude is like the middle ground between these two, that it's decently easy to push, but you know, it's a medium force. But for what I'm gonna do, I just like to use the heavy duty one, because you know, I like to get as much penetration, I guess you could say, with the staple, because sometimes the plastic is hard, you know, it's hard, and different bikes, different seats have different hardnesses of plastics, and maybe this gun won't penetrate, you know, that well on this plastic, but maybe that gun will penetrate well on a different seat. So anyways, but I'm just gonna use the heavy duty one to make sure those staples get all the way in. These are the staples I'm using, 5/16 length or 8mm length. And why you wanna make sure you don't have too long of staples is right here, like the end of the seat. If your staple's too long, it's gonna come in through the bottom and it's gonna poke out the top, and it could poke you in the butt or something. So anyways, I use 8mm or maybe a 10mm length, but nothing longer than that. The only time that a shorter staple might be an issue is where like you have an overlapping piece right here, that fabric builds up, and you know, you might need a 10mm in a certain situation right there, especially with this being a heavy duty seat cover, because it's gonna be thicker. But we should be good with those staples. We're gonna be using this gun right here. Boom, heavy duty Stanley gun, and we should be good to go. So anyways, let's pull the seat cover off. Let's put the new one on, and let's make it happen. Here we go. All right, guys, so there we go. We got the old seat cover off. We got the new one just kind of sitting on the foam right now, and I just wanted to touch base with the tools I used to get off the old seat cover. I just used a flathead screwdriver to pluck those staples out, and then a pair of needle nose for the ones that I guess didn't fully come out. And then yeah, so that's all I did. Pull all the staples off, the old seat cover comes off. You can see it's pretty thin, it's weathered, so that's great that we got this new cover. So anyways, I love that the Guts Racing guys make some great seat covers. I like how they have this lip around the whole thing, so it fits on like a glove kind of. And yeah, this seat cover looks like it's gonna fit great. It already is lining up great. One of my pet peeves is the logo on the back. I want it dead center. I don't want it even half a centimeter to the left or right if I don't have to. I want everything to be dead center. This is lining up great with how their tailoring and their fabric work is, so great job to them. And yeah, so my process, this is how I do it of doing the seat covers, is first I start in the front, I get everything lined up like it is about now, get this fabric where it needs to be, and then I put 3 staples in the front, 1, 2, and 3. Once I do that, I come to the back and I make sure that we're still lined up good, and I pull the whole seat cover, you know, with 2 hands. I pull it back, I kind of pull this fabric down in here, get some tension, so the seat cover is almost springy at that point. And then I put 3 staples, 1, 2, and 3 back here. So once you do that, this is gonna be lined up, this is gonna have some tension and be a little springy, and from there, you do the sides. So I'll go to one side, I'll pull the fabric maybe forward a bit, put a staple here, I'll pull it down, put a staple here, and I'll pull it back and put a staple there. I'll go to this side and I'll do the same thing, you know, like 1, 2, and 3. So then at that point, let's say you have 10 to 20 staples in your seat cover, and you can kind of see how it's lining up. You know, if you pull too hard on this side, maybe this is gonna go over that way a bit, the seam, or vice versa. So you're just always looking for that. All the time I end up pulling staples out and repositioning them. But once you get your positioning staples in, which is like the 3 up here, 3 here, and maybe like 5 or 6 on each side, and everything's tight, then you can do your final round and do your staples touching back to back all the way around, which may be like 40 to 50 staples, let's say. So anyways, that's the process. Start with the front, start with the back, get it lined up, get some tension on it, hit the sides, get all the wrinkles out. And one thing I want to touch base on, if you're doing this in a cold environment, like if it's under, you know, 60 degrees or 50 degrees or something like that, this material is not going to be as pliable as it would in the heat. So what I'm saying is if you install it in a very cold environment and you go out in the sun, you're gonna be like, whoa, there's a wrinkle, it wasn't there before, I swear, dude. Well, that's because it was so cold that when you did the seat cover installation, the material was kind of shrunk, and then when you hit the sun, it kind of naturally, you know, stretched and expanded. So what I'm saying is, if it's a cold environment, you might want to pull out a blow dryer or a heat gun and lightly heat up the material, and that's also going to help you, you know, make it pliable to, you know, pull it and get it tight and nice. Well, the garage I'm in right now is about 75 degrees, so I don't need to do that. I'm just going to do it right now, no heat gun or anything. But if it's cold, you probably want to heat this up a little bit, especially with it being this heavy duty material that's not as pliable and easy to, you know, mold and use as this guy. So anyways, enough tech talk. Let's pull out the staple gun, get it loaded up with those staples, and let's fire away and get this thing all said and done, nice and tight, and get it finished. All right, guys, here we go. All right, all right, all right. We got that seat cover all put on, stapled, tight, and looking good. There it is. Guts Racing seat cover on the tall foam, looking good. We got the Guts Racing logo straight, and everything's tight. You can see that we are good to go. So I'm very happy with how this came out. I'm happy with, you know, the seat cover itself and everything like that. The stapling process went nicely. I just did what I said, started front to back. I had to pull out the staples a few times to get it right. Side to side, pulled out a few staples here and there, because as you go along, you might see a spot that you're like, oh, I actually wish that was a little bit tighter. So take the staple out, redo that, and that's why you're only putting a few here and there. And then once I was decided on what, you know, I wanted and what was right, then I started hitting, you know, the whole side with a bunch of staples. So I definitely put more staples than needed, that's for sure. I'm just kind of weird like that. One thing to know, I had to cut around this area because the fabric was so thick, it was piling up right here. It was about up to here. I couldn't get it down, and it wasn't gonna be able to go in properly if I didn't cut it. So I kind of cut it so it went around. That wasn't a big deal. And anyways, when it comes to stapling, one thing I want to note, when you have your staple gun, you really want to hit first off straight on. If you kind of hit at an angle, the staple's not going to want to go in properly. So you really need to have like the edge of that directly, boom, pushing hard, square against the plastic. So sometimes you have to reposition the seat, flip it around or whatever. And also, as I staple, one thing to note is I push forward, then staple. I don't just go and staple, because when you just go and staple, once you pull off and that staple's in there, it's gonna kind of pull back a bit and have slack, and you can't really hold it like maybe if you had someone else holding with two hands and then you hit it. But what I just do is push down, really pinch that fabric against the plastic, and then push forward and staple. And I do that the whole way through, so I'm always going push forward, staple, you know? And that really helps out to get it tight. That's a little trick I learned from a mechanic. So, you know, that's how you get this thing looking tight, looking good. And I am super stoked on the seat cover. So anyways, that's that for the seat cover. You know, pretty painless process. Don't be paying people $40 to $70 to install your seat covers, guys. Do it yourself. Go buy a $10 to $15 staple gun and some staples and do it yourself. Learn. Don't just go pay some guy to do it. It's easy. Not bad at all. So anyways, that's that for the seat cover. And then it's gonna be on to the next parts we're throwing on the bike, and we're gonna get this thing all finished up, dialed in, and ready to ride here soon. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that build video today, and if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I'll be uploading new build videos on a regular weekly basis, and you're not gonna wanna miss out. I also cover motocross, trophy trucks, a lot of other cool stuff, so my channel is definitely gonna keep you entertained. So make sure that notification button's turned on and you're subscribed, and you'll be seeing those new videos uploaded on a weekly basis. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.